self-suturing wounds, a deep and twisted conspiracy, and one important question: does criminal justice apply to reformed assassins? Ninja Assassin left quite a few loose ends to tie up. Ninja Assassin doesn't spend a huge amount of time fleshing out its characters, but the movie does dive into the past of its protagonist, Raizo.
Looks like he belongs in a boy band.
Throughout most of the film, Raizo is on a quest for revenge against the Ozunu Clan, and flashbacks throughout the film explain why he has come to hate his adopted family so deeply. Raizo was a young orphan when the Ozunu Clan took him in and began his rigorous assassin training. Being adopted by the clan saved Raizo from living on his own, but it didn't guarantee him an easy life. Lord Ozunu personally pushed Raizo to his physical limits and used violence and threats to shape the boy into a killing machine. Raizo's only moments of peace came from Kiriko, another orphan who openly disobeyed Lord Ozunu's rules and tried to follow a more caring and empathetic path in life. Eventually, Kiriko decides that she needs to leave the clan. When she invites Raizo to come with her, he refuses despite the bond that they've formed. Thanks to his relationship with Kiriko, Raizo has already begun to question the Ozunu philosophy. Still, a mixture of the clan's conditioning and his fear of the outside world prevent him from leaving with Kiriko. Maybe if he had, she would have survived. The Ozunu clan captures Kiriko not long after she leaves for the outside world. Defectors not only threaten the clan's secrecy, but they also have the potential to inspire other orphans who might consider pursuing a life on their own. Lord Ozunu can't tolerate weakness spreading through the clan's ranks, so he orders Takashi to stab Kiriko in the heart in front of the other trainees. Kiriko's death is what finally breaks Raizo's attachment to Lord Ozunu and the other ninjas, but it's not actually the moment that Raizo turns his back on the clan. Instead, he spends several more years training alongside his adopted family. It's not until Raizo is assigned his first assassination that he finally makes a move against Lord Ozunu. The movie doesn't spend time explaining Raizo's reasons for staying with the clan, and it glosses over the years he must have spent planning his revenge in favor of diving straight into the action. Even though Raizo's loyalty to Lord Ozunu broke the day he ordered Kiriko's murder, he must have realized that taking advantage of the Ozunu training would be his best shot at actually taking apart the clan. He uses the Ozunu's secrets against them and comes out on top thanks to his patience. Raizo's big mission in Ninja Assassin is to stop the Ozunu clan at every turn while waiting for his opportunity to finally kill Takashi and Lord Ozunu, the pair responsible for Kiriko's death. When it comes to uncovering the Ozunu clan's mission, however, the movie changes focus to instead follow Europol agent Mika Coretti. Mika has spent some time investigating what appears to be a series of murder-for-hire cases, and the movie gets going just as she ties those murders together and links them to the Ozunu clan. She discovers that the clan has been killing for the highest bidder while taking out criminal and political opponents alike. Curiously, it appears that the Ozunu clan has been using its time and resources to rake in as much money as possible. It seems strange that a clan of pseudo-magical ninjas would be motivated by something as mundane as money, but if Lord Ozunu has a more sinister plan in the works, the Ninja Assassin isn't interested in delving into it. The movie instead hyper-focuses on Raizo, and he couldn't care less what the Ozunu clan wants as long as he can stop them. Since Lord Ozunu makes it very clear that he does not tolerate betrayal, it makes sense that so few children in training in the Ozunu clan are willing to defect from the organization. However, once they grow up to become lethal assassins, you'd think at least a few would feel confident enough to fight their way out after decades of abuse. There's a strong possibility that Lord Ozunu's indoctrination methods are simply effective enough and that no one has ever thought to turn against him.
You are part of me, as I am part of you.
He picks orphans as trainees not just because it's easy to make them disappear, but because it's easier for him to inspire loyalty in children who desperately want a family. Lord Ozunu convinces the children that the clan is their only lifeline, and they're willing to do whatever it takes to hold on to that. It's also possible that Raizo was somehow destined to almost single-handedly tear down the clan. There's certainly a magical element at play in Ninja Assassin, so delegating Raizo as some mythical chosen one doesn't seem like too big of a leap for the story. Ninja Assassin asks its audience to suspend quite a bit of disbelief. Anyone who wants to sit back and enjoy the movie needs to be willing to get on board with a secret group that kidnaps orphans as trainees, the existence of ninjas so skilled they're practically unstoppable, and global conspiracies that hide the existence of an assassination supergroup. Just as audiences have made peace with the world being presented to them, the movie throws another curveball about 3/4 of the way through its runtime. After being seriously injured and kidnapped by the Ozunu Clan, Raizo heals his wounds seemingly by magic. With a bit of chanting and some complicated hand movements, Raizo's cuts seal themselves up and he returns to peak fighting form. For some viewers, this might be one step too far, but for others, it presents an exciting new twist on the world of ninja assassin. The Ozunu Clan aren't so fearsome just because they are masters of the physical world, but because they have access to some level of supernatural ability as well. Whether those abilities are healing wounds like Raizo's or disappearing into the shadows like Lord Ozunu during his final fight, there seem to be some skills shown by the clan that elevates them to an inhuman threat level. Lord Ozunu is a master ninja who teaches the members of his clan everything they know. He collects orphans for his training program and builds a ninja army so fearsome it becomes the go-to assassination force in the outside world.
Ninja, ninja, ninja.
Lord Ozunu might be the most knowledgeable ninja in the clan, but Raizo proves that he isn't the strongest. By the time Raizo and Lord Ozunu finally square off, the two have known each other for decades. It would be easy to say that Lord Ozunu loses the fight simply because he's not as strong as he was in his youth, but thanks to the healing abilities the ninjas have, who's to say they even age at a normal rate? Throughout the battle, Lord Ozunu shows that he's a more technically proficient fighter than Raizo with his impeccable swordsmanship and vanishing abilities. Once again, however, it's Lord Ozunu's confidence that undermines his victory. Lord Ozunu thinks that he has enough control over Raizo that he will never be betrayed, and he is wrong. In their fight, Lord Ozunu thinks he's guaranteed to win, and he believes that Raizo can't possibly know how to do the disappearing trick himself. He's wrong on both counts, and Raizo wins by using that particular skill against his former master. While doing her regular work for Europol, Mika discovers a thread of killings that are all linked to the Ozunu Clan. She comes to realize that the clan has been taking on high-level assassinations in exchange for incredible sums of money. The killings have been taking place all around the world, and it appears that Lord Ozunu hasn't been too picky about who hires him. When Mika tells her boss, Ryan Maslow, about her theory, he warns her that she could be moving into very dangerous territory.
We are going to tiptoe very carefully from here on in. You understand? You do nothing without checking with me first.
There's no easy way to uncover everyone who's been hiring the Ozunu Clan, so there's a possibility that someone in the upper echelon of Europol is one of the clients. They could pay for the Ozunu to take out Mika and Ryan at any time. Luckily, neither of the agents gets assassinated as part of a cover-up. Mika and Ryan are actually able to gather enough support to lead a full-on assault on the Ozunu Clan. The full extent of the conspiracy is never revealed, so it is still possible members of Europol have worked with the Ozunu Clan in the past. By the time the credits roll on Ninja Assassin, Raizo has killed Lord Ozunu and put a permanent end to the clan. At the end of the movie, Raizo stands on the wall that Kiriko once used to escape and looks out at the world, imagining his new life of freedom. Raizo's mission is complete, but Europol's has just begun. Their battle with the Ozunu Clan must have brought some major attention to the organization, and it's almost guaranteed that once they clear out the ninja training compound, they will find new evidence of the assassination conspiracy that had been at play. For the people at Europol, Raizo's victory is just the beginning of what will be a long and grueling investigation into everything that has happened. Europol's investigation might also get in the way of Raizo's freedom. He's a key witness in the case and has insider knowledge of the Ozunu Clan that Europol might not be able to get anywhere else. Not only that, but Europol also has clear evidence of Raizo committing murder. He might have been fighting the bad guys, but Europol will still need to address his crimes. With legal logistics in mind, the true ending of Ninja Assassin might not be as cheery as it seems. The Ozunu Clan suffers some serious losses in its battle with Europol. Takashi and Lord Ozunu have both been killed, along with who knows how many other ninjas. However, it's unlikely that every disciple of the clan was a casualty of the battle. Moving forward, Europol will need to investigate everything that the clan has done, and they will undoubtedly capture a few prisoners to interrogate and even prosecute for the group's crimes. A sizable portion of the Ozunu clan can look forward to spending the next several years, if not the rest of their lives, behind bars. Of course, whether that's a worse fate for the ninjas or for the people who are locked in prison alongside them is up for debate. On the other hand, capturing these highly trained ninjas is no small feat. When it becomes obvious that the clan is going to lose the battle, there is a good chance some members of the Ozunu decide to run. Their training has given them all the skills they need to avoid the authorities, even if it hasn't taught them how to lead normal lives in the outside world. Maybe some of the ninjas will try to abandon their history and lead another life. Maybe others will continue hiring out their services to the highest bidder. The clan has been disbanded, but the skills the ninjas have learned will stay with them for a lifetime. Unlike many action movies today, Ninja Assassin doesn't shoehorn in any cheeky nods to a sequel. However, there's absolutely enough detail in its world to fill up another story. The history of ninjutsu and the Ozunu clan are begging to be explored, but fans of the movie would probably be even more interested in seeing Raizo's future. If Raizo cooperates with Europol, it's easy to imagine him spending the next few years of his life tracking down the ninjas who escaped the battle at the end of Ninja Assassin. He and Mika might even travel the world looking for any Ozunu trainees. Along the way, Raizo will continue his training, and it's possible that he'll even learn new semi-magical skills that even Lord Ozunu never knew. The other possibility is that Europol wants to take Raizo in, and he instead goes on the run. He'll get to use all the skills he acquired while working against the Ozunu clan to defend himself from the organization and any other world government it asks for assistance. Along the way, it seems likely some stray Ozunu clan members will embark on a revenge quest of their own, hunting Raizo down for what he did to their family. Ninja Assassin never got a sequel, at least not yet, but its story is still far from over.